How many times have you looked at yourself in the mirror and felt not enough? How many moments have you spent comparing yourself to an image that's been painted for you by society, by your own fears, by the false narratives around you? You might think that these insecurities are just a part of who you are, that they define your worth. But I want you to stop for a second and really hear this. You're carrying around so many unnecessary fears, so many doubts that don't matter, not to her. We live in a world where men are taught to suppress their feelings, hide their vulnerabilities, and wear a mask of strength. The problem is, that mask doesn't always reflect who you truly are. You've been told that there are certain things about yourself that will make or break how a woman sees you. But here's the truth no one really talks about. Women don't care about the things you think they do. There's this constant pressure you feel to look a certain way, be a certain way, live up to some impossible standard. Maybe you look in the mirror and don't like what you see. Maybe you feel like you're not muscular enough, or that your height isn't quite where you want it to be. Maybe you worry about your financial status, how much money you make, or how people see you at work. All of these things, these insecurities, they're so much bigger in your mind than they are in hers. But you're still holding on to them, like chains wrapped tightly around your heart. I know that the fear of rejection is real. I know that the idea of not measuring up to some idealized image of the perfect man feels suffocating. But I'm here to tell you that the weight you're carrying is unnecessary. The woman you're hoping for, the woman who will truly see you, is not looking for the version of you that's been sculpted by these societal pressures. She's not checking the boxes on some list of perfect man attributes. What she wants, more than anything, is to see the real you. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you gotten so caught up in these insecurities that it's affected how you show up in your relationships? Maybe you've tried to impress her with your accomplishments, or you've overcompensated for what you feel you're lacking. But at the end of the day, those things, while they may earn admiration for a short while, aren't the foundation of love. They won't keep her by your side when things get tough. They won't build the deep connection you both deserve. The truth is, women are far more attracted to who you are, how you treat others, and how authentic you are in your emotions. Your imperfections, they make you human, and it's that humanity that connects us all. If you're hiding behind insecurities, if you're trying to meet expectations that aren't even real, you're blocking the one thing that's most attractive to women: your true, unguarded self. This video is for you if you've ever felt that tug in your chest, the feeling that you're not enough, that you don't measure up. But listen carefully, because I want to show you something different. I want you to understand that the things you feel insecure about, the things that make you feel small or less than, don't even register for her the way they do for you. I promise you, the more you let go of these fears, the lighter you'll feel. The more you release this need for perfection, the more space you create for genuine connection. Women don't care about the things you think are holding you back. They care about your heart, your kindness, and your ability to be real. That's the man they'll fall in love with. So stay with me. We're about to dive deep into what really matters in love. And I promise, if you're willing to release these insecurities and step into the real you, you'll see that you've been holding on to things that were never yours to carry in the first place. You know what's crazy? The things that keep you awake at night, the things you obsess over, the things you think define your worth, most of them don't even make a dent in her mind. Women aren't sitting there judging you for your height, your body type, or your financial status. They're not keeping a checklist of your flaws or imperfections, comparing them to some invisible standard. But somehow, you're still holding on to these insecurities like they're the very core of who you are. Let me be clear, they're not. It's time to let go of the narrative that your physical appearance is what will determine if she loves you or not. Sure, we've all been conditioned to think that a certain body type or physical trait is the key to attraction. But the truth is, women are looking for something far deeper. They're not staring at the scale, counting your abs, or judging your facial features. They're looking for connection. They're looking for emotional depth. They're looking for authenticity in a world full of filters and pretenses. Think about it for a second. How many times have you found yourself criticizing your own reflection? How many times have you felt less than because of how you compare to some idealized image in your head? Women can sense that. They can feel when you're holding yourself back because of a belief that you're not good enough. But when you stand in your truth, when you stop hiding behind those insecurities and accept yourself as you are, that's when the magic happens. Here's something I want you to really understand. Women don't need you to be perfect. They don't need you to look like a supermodel or be the wealthiest man in the room. What they're truly drawn to is your ability to be yourself. They want to see the person behind the walls, the man who isn't afraid to show his real self, flaws and all. Because when you stop trying to be someone you're not, when you stop playing to an audience that doesn't matter, you'll find the woman who loves you for exactly who you are. Now, I get it. It's easy to get lost in the comparison trap. We live in a world that constantly reminds us of what we don't have or who we're not. But I need you to understand this. Those external markers, how much money you make, how many followers you have, how tall you are, they're just surface level stuff. The deeper you go into this, the more you'll realize that they don't really matter in the way you think they do. Think about the women who have loved you, or the women you've been drawn to in your life. What's the one thing they've all had in common? They weren't sitting there grading you on your body fat percentage or the car you drive. What they cared about was how you treated them, how you made them feel when they were around you. They cared about your heart, your soul, and the real raw connection you shared. You've been carrying this burden for far too long, believing that you have to live up to some perfect image. But here's the truth. None of it matters. When you show up as your true self, you invite real love, real connection, and real understanding into your life. The woman who will truly see you isn't looking for someone who has it all together. She's looking for someone who's willing to be vulnerable, who's willing to be real, who's not afraid to let go of the need for perfection. The key to your happiness, the key to the relationships you dream about, is not buried in the things you think you're lacking. It's already inside you. It's in the way you can embrace yourself, flaws and all, and show up authentically. When you stop hiding behind these insecurities, when you let go of these false beliefs that have held you captive for so long, you'll see the world open up in ways you never imagined. The relationships you've always wanted will begin to form, and the right woman will show up, not because you fit some mold, but because you've allowed her to see the real you. Stop letting these insecurities dictate your life. Stop thinking that you're not enough just because you don't look like someone in a magazine or because your bank account doesn't match some arbitrary standard. The woman you want isn't looking for that. She's looking for you, the real you. It's hard to let go of something you've been told is important for so long. You've been raised with the idea that your financial success, your status, your ability to provide defines you. Society has taught you that your value is tied to the paycheck you bring home, the title on your business card, the car you drive, and the house you live in. But deep down, you know it's not that simple. You know that these things, while they can be part of the picture, don't define who you are or the kind of partner you can be. Here's the truth. The right woman, the one who truly sees you, isn't sitting there evaluating your financial standing. She's not looking at the zeros in your bank account or the size of your paycheck to decide if you're worthy of love. She's looking at your character. She's paying attention to your integrity, your kindness, and how you show up for those who matter. Women want a man who is driven, who works hard, and who is committed to building a future, but not for the sake of impressing others. It's about passion, purpose, and the ability to grow together. Think about it. When you're building a life with someone, it's not about how much money you can accumulate or the titles you can collect. It's about the life you build together, the memories you create, and the support you offer one another when things get tough. A woman will value your ambitions, your efforts, and your willingness to work toward a better future, not just for yourself, but for the both of you. I know it can feel like your financial success is a measure of your worth, but it doesn't have to be. Your worth comes from the person you are at your core. Are you compassionate? Are you kind? Are you reliable? Those are the traits that matter. Those are the things that build a strong foundation for a lasting relationship. You can have all the money in the world, but if you lack emotional depth, authenticity, and the ability to connect, that wealth won't matter. I want you to understand something crucial. The pressure you put on yourself to meet these external standards is suffocating your ability to be your true self. You're comparing yourself to a version of success that isn't even real. The ideal partner isn't looking for a perfect, polished image of a man. She's looking for a partner, a companion, someone who is open to building something meaningful together. A woman wants a man who has passion, drive, and a vision, but more importantly, she wants someone who is emotionally available and ready to share that journey with her. The moment you stop tying your worth to your financial achievements, you free yourself. You stop pretending to be someone you're not. You stop hiding behind the illusion that you have to have it all figured out before you can be loved. This idea that your financial success determines your value? It's a myth. And letting go of that myth will open doors to relationships where love is built on something deeper, something more real. When you stop worrying about your financial standing, when you release the anxiety about not being successful enough in the eyes of the world, that's when the right woman will see you. She'll see your true worth. The man who is driven, who has purpose, but who also has the capacity for love, vulnerability, and emotional depth. That's what she will be attracted to. That's what will keep her by your side, not your paycheck. So let go of this burden. Stop letting it define you. The only thing that truly matters in love is your heart. The rest will come in its own time. Trust me when I say that the woman who is right for you won't care about how much money you make or where you stand in the eyes of others. She will care about how you make her feel, how you make her life better, and how you are present emotionally every single day. And that's a connection money can't buy. You've spent so much time thinking that your social status, your popularity, and how many people know your name will make all the difference in a relationship. You've placed your self-worth in the number of followers on your social media, in the conversations you have with people who admire you from afar. But here's something you need to hear, and you need to hear it clearly. The woman who will truly love you isn't measuring your worth by how many people are watching you, or how well you're seen in the public eye. When you're caught up in the cycle of seeking validation through popularity, you start to lose sight of what actually matters. You start thinking that the quantity of your friends or followers is more important than the quality of your connections. But the reality is, people who genuinely care about you don't count your social media likes, your status, or the number of events you're invited to. They care about the person you are when the cameras are off. They care about how you show up in the lives of the people who matter, not how many people admire you from a distance. Imagine this for a moment. You can have all the social proof in the world, all the people around you, but if there's no one to truly lean on when the world gets heavy, what does it all mean? If the relationships you have are built on shallow interactions, how deep can they go? You're putting so much pressure on yourself to be seen by everyone, but it's the quiet moments, the authentic moments, the real connections that will matter in the end. A woman doesn't need you to be the life of the party, always surrounded by people who cheer you on. What she needs is someone who is emotionally available, someone who isn't hiding behind the facade of popularity. She wants the man who is present, who's willing to give attention, time, and love to the people who matter, not just those who can boost your ego. The truth is, women are drawn to emotional depth, not external popularity. She's not searching for someone who is constantly putting on a show for others. She wants someone who is genuine, someone who can be vulnerable, who can show up without trying to impress. It's about quality, not quantity. You don't need to be the most popular person in the room. You don't need to be constantly in the spotlight to attract the right kind of woman. You need to be someone who is grounded, who knows what truly matters, and who is not afraid to let go of the need for constant validation. You need to be the kind of person who offers real, meaningful connections, not just surface-level interactions that satisfy the ego. When you stop chasing popularity, when you stop caring so much about what others think of you, you make space for real, authentic relationships to blossom. The woman who will fall for you is the one who will appreciate the man behind the facade, the one who sees your heart, your intentions, and your willingness to build something deep and lasting. It's time to stop worrying about how you're perceived by a crowd. It's time to stop performing for the outside world. The people who matter will be the ones who see you for who you truly are, not the version of you that's carefully curated for external approval. True love is found when you're able to let go of the need for validation and start showing up as the person you were always meant to be. The right woman will be drawn to the real you, the one who doesn't need to be constantly surrounded by others to feel whole. She'll be the one who values your heart, your character, and your presence, not the number of followers you have or the parties you attend. Let go of this idea that popularity equals love. It doesn't. The depth of your relationships is what will define your worth, not the number of people who know your name. When you embrace that truth, you'll find the kind of connection that will last a lifetime. There's something so deeply ingrained in men, the belief that vulnerability is a weakness. We've been taught, from a young age, that real men don't cry, don't show their emotions, and certainly don't let anyone see their pain. It's this narrative that has been fed to you over and over, and it's been reinforced by society, by peers, and by even the media. You've learned to bury your feelings, to shield yourself from emotional exposure. But here's the truth that might feel uncomfortable to hear. Hiding your emotions, locking yourself away from the world, doesn't make you stronger. It makes you more isolated. The walls you've built up around yourself, the armor you wear to protect yourself from getting hurt, those aren't serving you. In fact, they're only preventing the deep, meaningful connection you've been longing for. Real strength isn't in the ability to suppress what you feel. It's in the courage to express it. It's in your ability to let someone in, to allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are. Not just the strong, stoic exterior, but the man beneath it. The woman who will truly connect with you, the one who will be there through the highs and lows, won't ask you to hide your feelings. She will want to see you for who you are. She will want to know about your struggles, your fears, your hopes, and your dreams. She'll want to understand what makes you tick, not just on the surface, but deep down. When you open up, when you allow her into that part of your world, that's when you build a bond that goes beyond the superficial. It's hard, I know. The fear of rejection, the fear of being judged, the fear of appearing weak, it's all real. But consider this. Every time you choose to hide your emotions, you're pushing away the very connection you seek. Vulnerability isn't something to be afraid of. It's the bridge that connects you to the people who matter. It's what creates trust, intimacy, and authenticity in relationships. Think about the most meaningful relationships you've had in your life. What made them work? Was it because you always had everything figured out? Was it because you showed up with the perfect answer every time? No. The best relationships are the ones where both people can show their scars, their imperfections, and still be accepted. They're the ones where both partners are willing to be real with each other, even when it's uncomfortable. When you choose to be vulnerable, you allow yourself the freedom to grow, to heal, and to connect in ways that are far deeper than any surface-level interaction. The woman who will fall in love with you will do so, not because of your carefully crafted exterior, but because of the emotional depth you bring to the table. She will love you for your authenticity, for the courage it takes to be real with her. She won't see vulnerability as a weakness. She will see it as a sign of strength, the strength to face your fears and to be open enough to let someone else share in them. The more you try to hide behind your walls, the more disconnected you become from what truly matters. The longer you suppress your emotions, the harder it becomes to build the deep connections you desire. But when you begin to embrace vulnerability, you'll notice that the right people, the ones who truly understand you, will be drawn to you. They won't see your vulnerability as something to be feared. They'll see it as an invitation to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level. It's time to let go of the idea that being emotionally guarded makes you strong. It's time to embrace the truth that strength is in the willingness to be open, to be seen, to allow others in. When you do, you'll find that the love you've been searching for was never as far out of reach as you thought. It's not in the mask you wear or the walls you build. It's in the real, unfiltered version of yourself, the one who is unafraid to show the world your true heart. That's the man who will find lasting, fulfilling love. You've spent too long believing that age is something that works against you. Maybe you feel like time is running out, that you're too old to start a meaningful relationship, or that your best years are behind you. But here's something you need to hear. Age doesn't define your worth. It never has. It never will. The pressure of time can be overwhelming. Society tells you that there's a certain age by which you should have it all figured out: your career, your relationships, your entire life. And when you're not there yet, you start to feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth that most people don't talk about: the right woman won't care about the number of candles on your birthday cake. She won't care about how many years have passed or how many opportunities you think you've missed. What she cares about is the man standing in front of her, the person you are now, not the person you think you should have been at some imaginary age. When you hold on to this idea that time is against you, you block yourself from fully experiencing the present moment. You keep looking backward, obsessing over missed opportunities, or thinking you've reached the point where it's too late to make meaningful changes. But the truth is, it's never too late. Your worth doesn't diminish as the years go by. In fact, with age comes something far more valuable than youth: wisdom, experience, and emotional maturity. These are the qualities that truly matter in a relationship. Think about it. The woman who will see you, who will love you for who you are, isn't concerned with how many years you've lived. She's focused on what you bring to the table now: your ability to be present, your emotional depth, your willingness to invest in something real. As time passes, you accumulate knowledge, perspective, and a deeper understanding of what matters in life. That's the man she wants to be with. Not the person who feels like he's running out of time, but the one who has learned, grown, and is now ready to embrace the future. You may have missed certain moments in the past, and that's okay. The beauty of life is that there's always room for new beginnings. Every single day offers an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to create.